DBS community, welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name is Kyle Chris, and today we're going to be going over the best blue decks to play in set 12, or some of the more overlooked blue decks to play in set 12. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. As always, let me know if you guys like any of these deck ideas, if you guys agree with these leaders, if you guys don't. It's always good to hear from what you guys have to say down below. Now, before we go into the actual decks, blue has been a deck archetype color that really hasn't been shining too much since I don't know, since forever. It's been a very long time, maybe a set and a half now, and a lot of it has just to do with a lot of the silver bullets. Blue just doesn't have a lot of endgame cards, and blue just hasn't felt good at all for anyone to play. And I think blue's getting to a point now, obviously with baby, that blue is starting to make a comeback in the meta. But I do think these four decks could impact the meta in some way. And potentially, you know, with next set too. We don't know what cards are coming out next set, but blue is kind of on the rise, and that's a really good thing to see. So we'll start here with Soul Striker. There are many different variations of Soul Striker. Many different variations. There's Soul Striker AOD, there's Soul Striker Policeman, there's Soul Striker just good blue stuff. This particularly here is Soul Striker Nemba, the Soul Striker Janemba, and it's a very interesting archetype. You're able to untap energy a lot with your leader. Also, some of these Janembas also untap as well. So you have a lot of swings, a lot of untapping, and that makes for a very good deck archetype. You have things like the Murchim and the Khalifa here, which are very good tech cards. Murchim is a very interesting way to end the game, being a double strike 25k dual attack. Also with Kefla, if you have a pretty big board of blue cards, you're able to play Kefla for cheap, and then you can activate her ability where she draws you 2 cards and restands 2 energy at the end of the turn, which is obviously very good. Unisons, you don't have to run 6 Unisons, but the 3-drop Unison is preferred because you have the ability to awaken. Now, this card here, the Rose Goku, this could be replaced out for the Giant Forest Raditz if you would like, but really the baby is the main one that you want to see. You have the Chill here, which came out of Draftbox-Ku, which when this card deals a damage, you're able to play a 2-drop, I think it's a 2-drop Skillless, which you can play the Janemba here. And then you can go into your Janemba chain, which is the Bewitching Blow, Dark Parasite, and then the Rampaging Demon, which is kind of your end game. You don't see a secret rare in this deck. You can run a secret rare, you can just run Baby Hatch, you can run Supreme Kai. You don't always have to just show a secret rare, just because you can just slot a secret rare in literally anywhere in most decks. But this deck is a very interesting way of you just draw a ton of cards, you have a ton of energy manipulation, very good aggressive archetype with the Janempas. One good interesting card that I did not add here that I just thought of is the Janemba Field Spell, which I think it's called Alter Reality something, where it's a 1-drop that draws you a card, but also all of your Janempas gain barrier, which is a very good thing to do. So that's also a possibility if you do want to run the Janemba chain. But yeah, like I said, I think this is a very cool archetype. Hopefully we start seeing some more use of Soul Striker in the future. Next is going to be Super Saiyan Trunks, Set 10 Trunks, or as most people call him, Life Ramp Trunks. This is an archetype that has seen very little play up until recently with, I believe his name is Legends. He's part of the Teemo at FOE, who plays mainly Invoker, but he's been playing a lot of Trunks recently in some of the events. And I think he's the only person I've seen play Trunks. And this leader is I would say a very big brain leader, because you do a lot of manipulation with your life, and also there's a lot of RNG too. For one, Trunks cannot take crit damage. Anytime you were to take damage, you can reveal the card and then add it to your hand. You also have cards in this deck, like this Goku and this Vegeta here, where when you add them from your life to your hand, you can play them in your energy instead. Then you draw a card, and they eventually go away, but it does give you a way to self-ramp to get to your big boss monster. Now, the big boss monster in this deck is obviously very defensive, as you can see here, but the boss monster in this deck is a Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, and archetypes that have a built-in boss monster are always good. Just people haven't been able to play this archetype very well, but this card actually helped. It is a 35k triple strike deflect barrier that comes down and makes your opponent bottom deck 2 cards, and every time it swings, your opponent bottom decks 2 cards. It is a very powerful effect. It's a very powerful effect. So this is something that I could see a lot of people running if they, I mean, the problem is that this deck is very expensive. You have a tournament promo here, you have this tournament promo, which we all know how expensive this card is. This is a TP promo, this is a promo, this is a promo, the Tapion Unison, so it's a very expensive blue deck. This is a promo, this is your secret rare, this card's super expensive, so you kind of see where this is going. This is a very expensive blue deck, but I do think the archetype is very powerful, and if someone can pilot this deck correctly, I think I've seen this deck lose to Red Broly, but other than that, I haven't really seen it lose too much. So I think it also lost against Invoker as well. So, I mean, it is a really good deck. So hopefully someone may be able to pilot this in the future so we can start seeing a Trunks for being the format. But also, once these prices drop on a lot of these TPs, this I'm sure people will start playing this a little bit more. Next is going to be Zamasu, but more importantly, set 10 Zamasu, which is the dual attacking Zamasu. So this archetype here focuses very heavily on your leader being able to just draw you a ton of cards, because your leader can pop energy to then become a dual attacker. And he has an auto where he just, when you attack, you draw a card. So that is very, very strong. This particular archetype focuses on the field spell, Tragedy Overground. When you play this card, all your opponent's battle cards, I think it's 4 or more, instead of being played, they get put in their energy. And anytime you play a battle card, more than 4 energy, they have to put them in their energy. It's a pretty overwhelming powerhouse field. It's very difficult to get out. You have to fuse into the 5-drop here. There's Zamasu and a Goku Black. Go into the 9-drop, and then from there you activate battle or activate main to put this card into play. Now, it is good that this archetype has an indestructible, so it is very difficult to get rid of, but you just have to see the card. You have to see this card here. Once you see this card, and this card you can search out from your deck, your energy, or your hand and play it. So that is extremely powerful. Now you will see there is a 1 multicolor card in this deck. This is strictly for, you can charge this, honestly. You're not running any yellow in this deck, but the idea is that you can charge this, so then you can play this card out. This is a 2-drop, essentially a free negate. And also this gives you another Goku Black target that you can go into your big guy as well. Obviously you're running some of the good blue stuff. You have your Markroms, you have your Aboonies, you have your Trunks TPs, you have the Goku Black TP. Very, very powerful deck. Zeno is the only unison that really works in this deck because you need to ramp to hit turn 3. And then you're able to awaken. Then you can start using this energy that he plays to pop it to gain dual attack. You have the good old encouraging presence Manaka to give your leader double strikes. It makes him a dual attack double strike 15k that draws you a card. Draws you 3 cards technically. Very, very powerful deck. Very, very powerful deck. Intersecting Fates is another very good card that most blue decks should be running. Allows you to search top 2, grab any card, put the other one at the bottom of the deck, and then restand in blue mono energy at the end of your turn. So just a free draw, and that is a very good thing to have in Dragon Ball. Next, and certainly not least though, is going to be Vegito, SS Blue Vegito, Structure Deck Vegito for set 10 as well. So this deck here focuses a lot on having your own cards, your own blue cards dying, and then being able to restand energy and drawing cards off of that. Now this is a very interesting archetype because this is an archetype that I would say myself brainchild, I guess. I've never seen anyone else play this. You can go back and see probably 3 or 4 different deck profiles on this type of deck with Vegito, where I ran red and blue. Now I did run Topo in the deck. I took that out for this video just to kind of see more of a blue staple of the deck. But the idea is you use the multicolor energy to rival out these bad boys here, which gives you a ton of pressure, more pressure than a blue deck naturally has. And also when these cards are removed by a skill or KO'd, your leader does restand 1 and draw 1. Now it is for mono blue energy only, so you can't do these, but that is okay. We also run Intersecting Fakes. You have your blockers here with the Rhoda and the Oob. This is a card that when I was playing this deck, this card wasn't out yet, so I used the Jakol Draftbox card that gained blocker and revenge. You can use that one as well. Then you also have the Baby combination here with the Baby Unison and then the Baby Golden Avenger. Being able to play this out as a counter, you can use your leader. You can use this ability here to make this card free. You just pitch a card, which is very, very powerful. Obviously, Baby Hatch. You have your Overrealm with the secret ID. I love this card here, the Android 18, Never Ending Energy. Every blue deck that I played this card. Mainly because it was a one cost blue, so I could have 2 multicolors, or even in other decks that where you're only charging 1 blue, or maybe not as much blue, you can play this guy out for 1. Or girl, whatever. If you play her, she's a 20k, and she's also draws you 2 cards, which is just very, very powerful. End games, you have Android 17, as well as just cooler pressure and baby pressure here. Very, very, very powerful deck. I would love to see someone pilot this variation of Vegito for me, so I can see it perform well, just because I don't own any blue cards anymore. So I don't have a way of playing this card, this deck, unfortunately. So, but yeah, that's what I have for you guys here today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of these deck ideas. Some of these archetypes, as you will see, that they may be missing certain cards. You may say, oh, well, they're missing a counterplay. They're missing this or this. These are just ideas. These are just blank ideas. More so that, whoever's watching these videos can look at, say, hey, you know what, I like this idea, but I'm going to add this and this and this, and just give some deck ideas out there, and giving some perspective on them as well. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys. But that does it for me here today. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.